Hello, good morning. Welcome to Budding Bookworms. We're going to start this morning by singing Tiddly Tiddly Bumblebee. So when I point at you, you say your name and you say it really loud. Tiddly Tiddly Bumblebee, won't you say your name for me?
Eliana.
And that's a wonderful name. Tiddly Tiddly Bumblebee, won't you say your name for me? And that's a wonderful name. We're in our basement today, and you'll see why in a few minutes. But first, we're going to talk about our theme. Our theme is sink or swim. So we're going to be talking a lot about water. So our first story is about water and boats. So Eliana's going to get our CD working. Do you know what a CD is, everybody?
It's a thing that goes, it's a thing that has music on it.
This is called Row, Row, Row Your Boat. Like, is that?
Row, row, row your boat gently down the stream. Merrily, 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 life is but a dream. Row, row, row your boat, happy as can be. Sunshine glowing off and rowing with your family.
Okay, help us row.
Row, row, row your boat, stroke and follow through. Buckling, flailing, oars go sailing, what a clumsy crew. Row, row,
Row.
row your boat, row with all your might. Rocking, bashing, water splashing, better hold on tight. Row, row, row your boat, look ahead to find beavers damming, logging, jamming, left you in a bind. Row, row, row your boat, stop to have a munch. Shopping, snacking, slurping, smacking, what a noisy bunch. Row, row, row your boat, better row to shore. Raining, hailing, wind is wailing, hear the thunder roar. Row, row, row your boat, find a place that's dry. Scurry, scuttle, hide and huddle till the storm blows by.
Okay, row again.
Row, row, row your boat, and away you go. Skies are clearing, sunset nearing, homeward bound you row.
Okay, this has the music for Row, Row, Row Your Boat. So we're going to sing that right now. So get in your boat, get your oars, and we're going down the river. Row, row, row your boat gently down the stream. Merrily, 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 life is but a dream. Row, row, row your boat gently down the stream. If you see a crocodile, don't forget to scream! Ah! Let's do it one more time. Row, row, row your boat gently down the stream. Merrily, 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 life is but a dream. Row, row, row your boat gently down the stream. If you see a crocodile, don't forget to scream. Good job. All right, we have a nursery rhyme called Rub-a-Dub-Dub. So it's in the ocean, and Eliana's going to read it.
Rub-a-dub-dub, 3 men in a tub. And who do you think they be? The butcher, the baker, the candlestick maker. So turn out the names, all 3.
Can you do it one more time?
Rub-a-dub-dub, 3 men in a tub, and who do you think they be? The butcher, the baker, the candlestick maker, so turn out the names, all 3.
Can you see the picture? Good. All right, next, we're going to read a book by one of my favorite authors. And anybody who's been in my program, you know who it is. Robert Munch. This is one that I think you will like because it don't smell like socks. And she also goes on a river. When Tina wanted new socks, her mom took her to the only store in town. This store only has
Black socks,
said Tina. Can we please go across the river and get some really good socks? We can't drive across the river because there's no bridge here, said Tina's mom. You know, it's a long, long, long way to the only bridge. Besides, we don't have a car. So Tina went to her grandfather and said, could you please take me across the river in your boat? I want to buy some really good socks. The motor is not working on the boat, said her grandfather. Row, said Tina. We can row. I can row, and you can sit in the back of the boat. You will row, said her grandfather. Yes, said Tina. Rowing is easy. So, Tina got in the boat and rowed slowly. Splash, splash, splash. And the boat went in slow circles. Swish, swish, swish. Tina rowed fast. Splash, 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 splash. And the boat went in fast circles. Swish, 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 swish. This boat has forgotten how to row, said Tina. You sit in the back and tell me what to do, said her grandfather. So Tina sat in the back and told her grandfather how to row. And her grandfather rowed all the way across the river. Then they walked all the way through town to the big sock store. At the store, Tina tried on socks that were too big, socks that were too little, socks that were too blue, socks that were too pink. Tina tried on millions and millions of socks. Finally, she found the perfect pair of socks. Red and yellow and green socks. Then, since it was almost time for dinner, Tina and her grandfather ran back to the boat. And this time, the boat sort of remembered how to row. Tina rowed round and round and round and still got to the other side. When they got back, Tina ran home and yelled, "Socks, socks!
Wonderful socks. I
The-
am never ever going to take them off.
These are the best I've ever had. Grandpa rowed me all across the river to get these socks." "You're never going to take them off," said Tina's mother.
Never.
Said Tina. "Uh-oh," said Tina's mom. So Tina wore her socks for a long time. She wore them for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 whole days. Her mother said, "Tina, I know you love these socks. Just let me wash them really quick. They will start to smell if you don't get them washed."
Socks, socks, wonderful socks. I'm never ever going to take them off.
After Tina wore her socks for 10 more days, the kids at school said, "Oh, Tina, what a smell. Change your socks." Tina said,
Socks, socks, wonderful socks. I'm never ever going to take them off.
after Tina wore her socks for 10 more days. A whole flock of Canada geese flew over her house and dropped right out of the sky from the smell. 2 moose walked through her yard and fell from the smell. Ducks, raccoons, and squirrels fell over when she walked to school. Finally, even a skunk fell over from the smell. Tina's friends decided to do something. They all came to her house and knocked on the door. When Tina opened the door, they grabbed her, carried her to the river. Then they held their noses and they took off her socks. Some of the kids held Tina and some of the kids washed the socks. Scrub, 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 scrub. All the fish in the river floated up to the top and they acted like they were dead. The kids washed some more. Scrub, 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 scrub. All the beavers ran out of the river and went to live with Tina's grandfather. They washed some more. Scrub, 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 scrub. Far down the river, people said, "How come the river smells like dirty socks?" Finally, the socks were clean. "Wow," said Tina. "They look nicer when they're clean." "Wow," said Tina. "They smell nicer when they're clean." "Wow," said Tina. "They feel nicer when they're clean." Tina put on her socks and said, "I'm only going to wear
Clean socks.
from now on." The beavers left her grandfather's house and went back to the river. The Canada geese got up off the ground and flew away. The fish decided they were not dead after all, and they jumped and they splashed in the river. Tina went to her mom and said, "My socks are nice and clean, and I think it would be very nice if you took me to town to get me a nice new red and yellow and green shirt." See your shirt?
Mm-hmm.
"Promise to wash it," said her mom. "No," said Tina. "If I wait long enough, the kids at school will wash it for me." And there she goes into the river. Wasn't that a funny story? Okay, so we are going to make boats today. And I'm not very good at making paper boats, but Mr. Adams is. So he and Eliana are going to show you step by step how to make a paper boat. And hopefully this afternoon when it's nice and warm out, the snow is melted into puddles. You can float your boat or race with somebody. So here we go. I'm going to switch with Mr. Adams. And there's Eliana. So first of all, you need
You need an 8.5 by 11 piece of paper, and lay it down on the table and fold it in half this way. Make it a nice neat fold. Then pick it up and you're going to mark the center. You're going to hold the corner like that, make a nice mark, and then bring this back out again. Now, with the folded edge at the top, you fold on the halfway line, just like this. Do the other side the same. And you should have something that looks like this. And the open side should be at the bottom. Now, we take the long edge of the paper at the bottom and we fold it up. Make a nice neat fold. Turn the paper over. Make another nice neat fold. So you have something like this. Okay. Now, turn it up and pull out the bottom and fold it again, like this.
It makes a diamond shape.
Yes, it makes a diamond shape, and make sure the corners tuck under each other, like that. Okay. Now, take the bottom of the diamond and tip it up to the top and make another fold. Turn your paper over, fold up, not quite, Mariana. You're there, and yes, you're doing that right. Make it nice and tight. Do it over. Okay. Now, this is the tricky part. You've got your diamond. Now, you're going to pull the open part at the bottom out like this, and then try to fold the ends down. And this will be a very hard corner that you'll have to bend in. And pull this out. You might have to tweak it a little bit. You can even flatten your boat down and fold it down really tight like that, and then bring it up, and there you have your boat.
Excellent. So then, after that, we can make a mast and a flag for it. Eliana's going to do that for us. You could decorate your boat, you could color it, you could make a paper flag with your name on it. You could just be creative. So we're just using a straw and some felt. Eliana's going to glue it. Nope, she's going to tape it. We could row, row, row your boat gently down the stream. Merrily, 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 life is but a dream.
Row,
Row, row your boat gently down the stream. Merrily, 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 life is but a dream. She's almost got her flags on her mast. And then you can stick it in the fold of your boat.
Yeah, in that fold right there. And if it doesn't want to stand up, you can always put a piece of tape on it to hold it.
Voila! A paper boat. So now we're going to bring our paper boats and we're going to bring them over to our ocean. It's not really an ocean, really it's our ping pong table, but it's blue and we thought it could look like the boats. So we have a sailboat, we have a, what kind of boat? A water boat, yeah, it's really our Lego boat. Oh, motorboat, yes, you're right, because it has 2 engines in it. So here's another activity we thought would be fun. So this is just a pop bottle, water bottle actually. And inside, we're going to put some metal objects. So we're using paper clips. We're using a screw because it's metal. We're using a piece of hardware that's metal. Okay, and then we put the lid on. Can you see them down at the bottom? It's likely hard to see. And then Eliana has a magnet, and she's going to move those metal objects all through the water. Oh, right to the top. Oh, I see that big piece going right up to the top. Let's see. And look, all the paper clips and the screw has attached to it, which is really cool. But you can have fun doing that any way you want. Another activity is fishing rod. So Eliana's going to do that. And she has made fish to go in our ocean. And on the fish is paper clips. So because that has a magnet on the bottom, she can go fishing. So here's another picture of what we did. You can make a fishing rod just out of a stick if you like with a string on it and find a magnet. The cool thing is you could put numbers on your fish or different colors and you could only fish for those. Okay, so you can have fun with that. And here's another example of a boat that's very simple to make. It's a half a walnut shell. Now I didn't have any walnuts left in my house, but it's very easy. You just took half of it, put some maybe Play-Doh or plasticine in it, a stick for your mast, and then make a sail. And they actually will float in your water. Okay? Come to the other half of our ocean, and we're going to do some science experiments. So this book is called Liquids, so we're going to get an idea of what we can do with water. Liquids have
no shape.
Liquids take up
Space.
many things are
Liquids. Water.
gas, dogs drinking, firefighters need.
Water. Paint.
Liquids can pour into a container.
Liquids take the shape of their container.
Liquids can fit in
Many containers.
all different shapes and sizes.
Liquids can be thick. Liquids can be thin.
Many foods are liquid.
Like juice and chocolate and honey.
That chocolate looks delicious.
One liquid can feel different from another liquid.
The way a liquid feels is called
Texture.
many liquids have texture.
Like mud
See the girl with her muddy hands?
and glue.
Good. Liquids are one kind of matter. Solids and gas are another kind of matter.
There are many liquids, solids, and gases.
Liquids turn into solids when they get cold. This is called
Freezing.
water turns to snow or ice when it gets very
Cold.
liquid turns to gases when they get hot. This is called
Boiling.
water turns to steam when it gets
Hot.
the sun can change liquid. The sun heats up water.
Heat turns water into a gas. Water is an important kind of matter. Water can be a liquid, soil, or gas.
Solid. Many things are made of water. So today we are going to do sink or float in our water. So we'll move that over here. And I have some objects and I want you to think, will it sink or will it swim? So this is just a
Plastic paper.
plastic pear. It's not a real one. So Eliana, what do you think, everybody? Sink or swim? Oh, so it is
Swim.
swim because it's plastic, it's light. So you can hear how heavy it is. Sink or swim? Eliana, what's your guess?
Sink.
Sink? Oh, fast. Look at the bubbles it makes. Because it's metal, it was heavy. Next, we have measuring spoons. I'll do this again. You can hear what they're made of. Plastic, sink, or swim. Interesting. They
Swim.
swim or swam. If they got filled with water, maybe they would have sunk a little.
Not really.
No, you're right. Okay, I have a nice soft cotton ball. Sink or swim? It was swimming, and now it's got full of water, and it
sinks. It's like a
sinks.
sponge.
That's right, it absorbed the water. Now we have just a small little ball, but see how it bounces? It's a very light styrofoam ball. Let's see what it does. Sink or swim, everybody? Is it absorbing water? No, so it is swimming. Okay, we have a round magnet, which is quite heavy. Do you think a magnet can swim or float? Try. Oh, very heavy. Love that kerplunk sound.
Hey, where is it?
And the last thing we have is a beautiful green marble.
That's
Very small. Bounces. Sink or swim, everybody? Eliana, what do you think?
I think it'll sink.
Sink. Okay, let's try. Oh, fast. Good sink.
Right.
So you can try this at home. Find things in your house. You can find a bucket. Hopefully with your parents, have some science experiments. Okay, next. I have a boat. We're going to pretend this is a boat. So we're going to put a boat in the ocean. And we're going to put some people. We're going to put some people in the boat. Now these are just Lego people. So we have quite a few. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We have 9 Lego people. So we're going to put one by one people in the boat, and we're going to see how many people it would take to sink them. See if you know how many. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Did the boat sink? No. Boats are made to float. I think if we had put some
get filled with water.
Filled with water or something very, very heavy that would push the boat down in the water. But no, boats are made to float. So hopefully yours will float when you take it out into a puddle. Good job. Okay, we have one more story. So we come back to the story area. Find my story. Here it is. There's my animal, which Eliana's going to help me with. So this is another classic book. It's called Where the Wild Things Are. And I did not have any wild stuffies. So we're going to use the bear, and you just have to use your imagination and pretend he's wild. And we'll see another boat in this book. Where the wild things are. The night Max wore his wolf suit and made mischief of one kind and another. See, he's chasing the dog, and he has a fork in his hand. Does the dog look scared?
Yeah.
His mother called him Wild Thing, and Max said, "I'll eat you up." So he was sent to bed without eating anything. That very night in Max's room, a forest grew. And grew. and grew until his ceiling hung with vines and the walls became the world all around. And an ocean tumbled by with a private boat for Max. Here's the boat. And he sailed off through night and day. And in and out of weeks, and almost over a year, to where the wild things are. And when he came to the place where the wild things are, they roared their terrible roars. And they gnashed their terrible teeth. And they rolled their terrible eyes. And they showed their terrible claws. Till Max said, "Be still," and tamed them with the magic trick of staring into their yellow eyes without blinking once. And they were frightened, and they called him the most wild thing of all. And they made him king of all wild things. "And now," cried Max, "let the wild rumpus start." "Now stop," Max said, and he sent the wild things off to bed without their supper. And Max, the king of all the kings, was lonely. He wanted to be where someone loved him best of all. Then, all around, from far away across the world, he smelled good things to eat. So he gave up being king of where the wild things are. But the wild things cried, "Oh, please don't go. We'll eat you up. We love you so." And Max said, "No." The wild things roared their terrible roars and gnashed their terrible teeth and rolled their terrible eyes and showed their terrible claws. But Max stepped into his private boat and waved goodbye. And sailed back over a year, in and out of weeks, and through a day, and into the night of his very own room, where he found his supper waiting for him. And it was still hot. Well, that's the end of our program today, but I want to show you something that we're going to work on for next week. We're going to be talking about animals, and I would like to make pet rocks. So Brielle made this. It's a
Cheetah.
a cheetah. As you can see, the spots. It's got ears, has a tail. And we went walking by the canal, and we found a rock that was just perfect to bring home and paint. So if you're out walking this week with your parents, be looking for a rock that you too could make into an animal. And we'll see you next week. Bye, everybody. Are we going to say bye?
Bye.
Bye. Thanks for playing with us.